I think it just starts in the offseason. When you look at just how this team was built, the character, the leadership, the pieces that were added to fit into the culture. Not that new culture was added, it was here's our culture at Ohio State, here's what we stand for. Let's bring in the right transfers, the new pieces, but blend in with the current roster. So you just saw all those things, and in the new format, there's a margin for error. No one likes to lose that game. We can talk about that later, but there's a new format that allowed belief, and my deal was I knew we were going to host a playoff game. So if that's the case, let's pour into it. Let's maximize that opportunity. Let's show these young men that there's stability and continuity in the program, because they couldn't walk into that building on Monday morning and be looking around going, hey, what's going on? That couldn't happen. So we wanted to be very firm and convicted in our messaging right after that game, and that's not why this happened. Why it happened is because of those young men and our coaches. But they needed to have that clarity, and hopefully that's what was provided.
You guys made an event out of that first playoff game, some of the stuff that you guys were able to do, obviously because it was a night game, but putting that together, did that maybe show you some of the things that maybe need some upgrades, some things that you need to work on while you're here, but also what can happen with games of the house?
The format was different, so we were not allowed to do some of the things that we normally do during the season. But that showed that can be the template moving forward. I mean, Jack was just sitting on the stage right now and just said, by the way, that Tennessee atmosphere was the best I've ever played in. That was awesome. And so those are the kind of things, those are the kind of elements that we're reviewing right now to say, okay, how does this place be the best home field advantage in college football? Knowing that we need to upgrade some infrastructure, knowing there's technology and things like that. But the game presentation aspects of it, those are the things that I think we can do a lot different and just improve upon.
Ross, you said up on the stage that you guys want to keep Ryan here long term. Are you guys working on something as of right now?
Let's enjoy the moment, right? The business pieces are all moving, targets and all moving fluid processes. So we want to enjoy the moment, but the message is he's our guy. We believe in him. Stability and continuity in college football is so important, and when you have that clarity and you have that alignment from the board, president, AD, coach, you want to lock that in, and so those are the things that we're discussing.
When we talked to Gene in the spring, he said that he was going all in on football, and then you guys won a national championship. Do you feel like that kind of gives you the blueprint on like how this has to be done moving forward, whether you guys might like some of the aspects of it or not?
We'll review all the elements that went into it, right? You always want to see how it happened, why it happened, and review the elements that it takes to make sure that you can sustain this, right? It's a different era. The years of dominating, we'll have to see how that shakes out, right? Because parity is a real thing, and I think we've seen that with some of the teams. And then we also seen that some of the legendary programs aren't performing at the level that they expect. So I think college football is just in a moving, fluid process. So we'll review everything, but look, you've got to have resources, you've got to have fans, you've got to have alignment, you've got to have character and culture and chemistry within your building, you've got to have the right coach, the right pieces around it. Everybody has to be on the same page. So I think those are the ingredients that Gene was talking about. Yeah, we have a big budget. We have a $300 million athletic department budget next year. It'll be the first time anybody's achieved that. But again, the structure pieces and the culture pieces have to be in place, otherwise those things don't matter.
What is something that happened in this playoff run that the public didn't see that you'll always remember?
I think it's honestly the way that our medical staff and our strength staff, the recovery, the right days off, the right days of practice, the right days where you had to go hard, but then taper. No one sees that stuff, right? Because no one's in the building during those moments. I think the way the players really studied the game plan, and things had to kind of come together quickly, and you had to kind of prepare for two opponents, depending on who you were playing the next week. So I think the preparation of the bodies of the players with our strength staff and with our medical staff, no one's gonna, look, JT, right, came out of the Texas game. Guess what? Played a great game, right, in the national championship game. So those pieces, people don't really see that, so I give credit really to Coach Day for kind of having the structure, but then our staffs really executing on that.
There are rumors that Jim Knowles could be leaving. Chip Kelly's getting interest from the NFL as well. How do you help Ryan work through this process?
My job is to support him. We lean on each other during these times in terms of the moving pieces, but today's about celebrating the players that just won a national championship.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks, Ross.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.